top.
Like great.
Grating, raw. Oh. Listen. The words that's used to describe my ethnicity is just yeah, whatever. I'm a big girl. October Red Boxing here with one of my favourites actually. Craig gets me into trouble all the time. He gets me blocked on IG. You know what? I'm probably going to blame you for getting my IG taken down actually.
I'm responsible for everything. I'm just going to get the blame for everything. Just pass the blame.
Get the blame.
Oh, that's all right.
How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good now. You know, obviously didn't have a great end of the year last year, falling ill, but we take the rough with the smooth and we keep on moving.
You know, when I was there at the presser, and obviously the one that you're supposed to find, the Dillian Whyte card, and Bolotniks was there, and it was like, it was really weird because it's like nobody was really saying nothing. So I was thinking, is he got something, literally like, is it terminal? What is wrong with him? It was so eerily quiet. And then he was like, okay. It's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, no, do you know, I was proper ill, and I wanted to fight still. So I was trying to get better every day, and I knew if I went to the media workouts, it would have just crashed me. So I was trying to be hopeful, but I was flat in the ground. But because I was such a good camp, I just really wanted to fight. But yeah, I got worse every day till the point the doctor said, nah, you're done. Yeah, so it was out of my hands.
It's out of your hands, but what I will say is everything for a reason and nothing before its time. Because look at the card that you're on today. Look at the eyes it's going to bring. So what I'm going to say is either number 2 or number 3 in the light heavyweights in the UK.
Come on. You know what? It brings a great card. O2 is my favourite venue as it is. So I'm at the O2 now. Favourite venue. When I come through as a professional, I was watching Joshua light up the O2 every night, big nights at the O2 Arena. Then obviously I've headlined the O2, etc. It's the only venue we have in South London Arena as well. So yeah, I'm just happy to be back home.
And we are happy to have you, even though it's not my home, but I've been to the O2 enough. Yes. But you're a fighter that I would say goes under the radar, but you are you're very technical. You're a technical boxer.
Yeah, I'm a technician. I'm an operator. What they call mechanic. Yeah. So no, I'm joking. Not playing my own trumpet ish. No. Got. If you ain't gonna support yourself, who's gonna support you? So, but no. All jokes aside, yeah, I do study boxing very hard, and I'm very diligent. Obviously, I didn't have a big amateur pedigree, so I've been learning on the job, and I've been having to do it the intense course way rather than, you know, just taking my time like everyone else. I've got to really be on it day in and day out.
What I will ask you, because like you said, self-confessed, you haven't got a big amateur pedigree. Have you worked with fighters that have had a big amateur pedigree? And how do you guys like sit down and compare like what it's like in the pro game, etc., etc.?
It's a different ball game, but it gives you experience of like big nights, traveling, fight experience, nerve experience, dieting, all that sort of stuff. It gives you that experience. With me, I only had 3 years in the amateurs, about 20 fights. And I just turned over and been learning on the job. And straight away, it's not like they said, oh, look, you ain't a big amateur pedigree, so let's pad you through. It's kind of like, prove yourself. And I've dived in with big fights from the off and just been swimming.
We know that you're someone that's collected the domestic belts and kind of like always pushed yourself, even to world level. Bolotnik's no stranger to the light heavyweight division. We know that he's fought your former opponent, Joshua Buatsi, who we can come and talk to about in a minute if we've got enough time. Bolotniks then, his strengths that you saw when he fought Joshua Buatsi, I'll use that as a margin.
Yeah, he's strong. He's got a lot of heart. He always prepares very well. He'll give everything. Yeah, he's a good competitor. So for me, he's up there. So for me, and he's highly ranked. So if I can go out there and do a job on him and beat him, it shows where I'm at. And it pushes me back into that mix that I need to be with the big boys with the titles.
And I'm going to say that. Are you somebody, because I know you, but I don't really know you. When you talk about somebody like Bolotniks, you talk about being back in there with the big boys. Do you feel that pressure that you've got something to prove with this guy?
Not with him, just myself. I've got something to prove with myself, that I can't leave this sport without coming and getting what I feel like I've worked hard for, and that's the world titles. I believe that this is why I'm in the game. As you said before, I've cleaned up domestically. I beat them all domestically in terms of the British, the Southern Area, WBA, Continentals, etc. And now it's kind of like, now I need to crown them titles with a big one, the world title, the main one. And I will be disappointed if I don't get that.
You won't be the only one. We talk about management of your career, trained under the watchful eye of Mr. Sims Senior, because there's a couple of them. How have you found it then with your career being managed? Fair enough, you were off sick, you were offside for a little bit, but how have you found your career being managed as you've worked with Matchroom since the beginning?
Yeah, been good, you know. It's just one of them ones that straight away it's kind of like, okay, don't know a lot about you, show us. We've got all the Olympians, we've got ABA champions, we've got this. What are you coming with? If you want to be the big boys, prove you're one of the big boys. And I've just sink or swim. I said, I'll dive in. I'm not scared to fight. It's just a fight at the end of the day. Let's go.
That's kind of good that you've moved on to that, because we talk about names that have been, oh, they're nice shoes. Talk about names that have been thrown in there that are scared to fight. Quite a few people, you know, at the Twitter, Instagram, social media's like full stop. They've said that they've spoke about Joshua Buatsi saying, all right, then fair enough, he's got a clean record, but he's been docking fights. I know you can't speak for him. But when you talk about the British light heavyweight division, how do you see it? Because I know I've had my little poll on it, which has got me blocked. But what's like your thoughts on it? How do you see it? As much as from an unbiased as you can, being in it yourself.
It's hard to really judge because it's always going to be from a biased point of view. So I try to kind of stay out the opinions of the division. All I've got to do, I feel, for this year, just go and now start just coming through the division and getting to the top. That's how I'm looking at it. So I don't really watch the others so hard.
And it's a fair answer, but I was always going to ask the question, world level then, I'm not asking you to look through Bolotniks because you can't. He's definitely tough, but what do you see when you look at your career roadmap and you're looking at it and you're walking down the road and you've got going through fighters? Where do you see yourself? And I'm going to say realistically, because the amount of times that fighters fight each year, 2 years' time, where do you see Craig Richards?
I think I could be world champion in 2 years. I do honestly think I could be world champion in 2 years.
And what route are you going to go through? Because, you know, you hear like certain promoters work with different organisations, so they take certain routes. What's the route that you choose for you if you had the choice?
I won't choose because I know how boxing is. All the time is champions change, the belts change hands, things map out different. So you'll be looking at one thing and something else happens. So for me, I'll just leave it into the hands. I trust the team. They've given me opportunities before. So all I've got to do is do my job and that's go to the gym, work really hard, study boxing and come out there and perform on the night.
The presser today, then the final question before you go in, I'm mindful of the time. Bolotniks was kind of like a bit giddy, saying, where is he? I hope he's going to turn up, sort of like insinuating that you weren't ready as such, that he was kind of like running. What do you expect him to try and come with today now that you sat at the table kind of next to him?
I think, I don't know, he's a joker to me because if you see my resume, I've never ducked or dodged no one. So why would I take a fight? He's not a mandatory challenger. I'm not world champion, he's mandatory. It was a voluntary fight. So I wouldn't accept a fight. And then I heard him on an interview saying, oh, Craig and Eddie's got some conspiracy this week. I'm like, oh, shut up. You're not that important. If I didn't want to fight, you would just say, I'm not fighting you. I'll fight someone else. It's that simple. You think we've got to make all these big plans and ducking and diving for you. Just be ready April the 1st. That's it.
We love that energy. Craig, have you got any sponsors or anyone that you'd like to shout out as well? I do. Yeah, come on then.
Mia, yeah, and I want to shout out the Mill team, Sean Printtown. These people are very loyal sponsors, and obviously big up Everlasting Sports Director as well. But yeah, it's always nice when you got loyal sponsors and stay with you throughout the journey.
Loyal is a word that is passed around so flippantly and rarely means anything. But what I want you to do is shout out your sister, that's a Libra, that's born on the same day as me, that we've got a similar temperament.
That's Jodie. Shout out Jodie.
October Red Boxing, Craig Richards, all the best, and I'll see you inside in a bit.
Thank you for your time as always, and big up yourself for always keeping it 100 and real.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.